not born in Iran, but you are
No.
originally from Iran.
My mother, she is Persian. My mother is Persian and my father is French. And basically, my mother came in France to study painting in Bonnard. So I was so happy to do this movie because it's like a little homage to my mother.
And so it's quite interesting that you end up playing, because biopics is not every actor who plays biopics. It's a specific role to play. Generally, the type of roles that you do, they're quite different from this one. Here, you're like, I wouldn't say a normal person, but usually we're used to seeing you in much more flamboyant characters.
It's true.
Yes. So is there a bit of your Iranian painting mom in the fact that you accepted to play this role?
Yeah, I think for me it was very important to play a painter in a way. It's when you do a role, you invoke ghosts in a way to play. So maybe I had to find something on my own history to play this character, and for me it was a big thing to do a painter. And the movie is a biopic of Pierre Bonnard, but it's more a portrait of Marthe.
Sorry, no, I was going to say that Martin Provost, the director, he makes movies about women.
Yeah, he makes a great movie about women, and this movie it's a movie about.
Even if it's a movie about Bonnard,
it's a movie about Marthe, and I had to paint. He want me to paint.
How did you
directly.
handle that?
So I take lessons. I learned how Bonnard was drawing, how he was painting, and I work, I don't know, like 3 or 4 months on that. So it's very interesting, but most of the time the subject was Marthe.
What is interesting is that they went through disease, hardship, 2 wars,
yes, completely true.
Love story with René, which almost broke Marthe. And no matter what happened, they stay together, and she asks him to bury her, which is beautiful, by the way. So it's a very interesting story from the perspective of love as well. And we feel that today, I'd like to have your take on it, to play such a love story in 2023, where most people can't seem to stay together past the first 2 fights, is very moving.
For me, one of the best things of the movie is when you see them old, because you understand that we can forgive each other and we can pass the life and have a good life too.
Yes.
I think like Marthe and Pierre, they're kind to each other, and what is very beautiful in the movie is like you can understand all of this in the paint of Pierre Bonnard.
Now, as a free spirit, I mean, of course, I have to ask you this question as an Iranian person. It's a very free woman. I mean, from the beginning to the end, we know that no one is going to tell her what to do or who to be. And right now, it of course resonates with the free women of Iran, and not just women, how people need to be free, to be able to express themselves. What is, after you've played that, I mean, you've incarnated the role of one of the most free painter in the world, someone who revolutionized art. It's because they were allowed to express themselves. And right
completely.
Now, in Iran, they're not allowed to express themselves. And while we are at the film festival, people were executed last week for just wanting to speak out. How does it feel to you, even if you were not born there, but as someone who has his roots, family roots there? It's
hard for me to talk. To be honest, you know, like I just, for many years, I was not saying my mother was Persian.
Why?
I don't know why, because it was my story was so hard. The story of my mother was so hard, so it was hard for me to explain that. I didn't want to be this son of this mother of this family, because my family was executed So I have a lot of people in my family was arrested and to being free and a lot was killed. So yeah, it's. Je suis très ému. It's a very. It's a touch subject, and in a way, I can talk now. But me, I grew up in France with this crazy luck, this conviction to be free, and I think every year I had one cousin of me who was executed or arrested, and I saw my mother was.
Grew up?
Yeah, and I saw so many times my mother was crying because one of her cousin or her sisters or brother was arrested or killed. And I saw all this family, or my family was so much fighting for freedom because they really fight. So I try to be humble with this because I know that I'm a privilege. To be born in France and to be free. So I think it's very important to speak about that. But I'm very shy with this because I saw so much. Cry and people and violent things on my family. Yeah. So I think we have to put light on them, on people who are really fighting, you know. But it's very important to say it and to know how it's important, how the freedom is important, how the freedom of living, of speaking, of doing art. Of have his how the freedom to have his own mind is so important, and this is basically comment on dit, the basic of the democracy.
Democracy, exactly. And, you'll put
if
that
we
in
want,
next
if
movie?
we. What?
You said you wanted to make a movie about
I really want one time. Yeah, I want when I will be ready to do something on my family because it's a crazy story. Ce qui s'est passé aussi avec les femmes en Iran, ça crée quelque chose de très important. En fait, ça rend aussi ce qui se passe là-bas visible et c'est horrible. Moi, j'ai grandi presque tous les ans avec quelqu'un de ma famille qui disparaissait, quoi. Et ça dure depuis des années et des années. Ça n'a pas commencé là, en fait. Enfin, il y a des moments où c'est plus apaisé, mais ça n'a pas commencé là, quoi. Il faut croire en ça et puis il ne faut pas recréer de la violence, ça qui est très très dur parce que après de la violence, recréer de la violence. Moi, quand j'étais petit, je ne comprenais pas pourquoi. Ma famille est très politisée, c'est une famille importante en Iran. De gauche, enfin voilà, donc contre Khomeini. Contre Khomeini. Mais je veux dire, quand j'étais petit, que je voyais tous ces gens disparaître, je me demandais pourquoi les gens n'étaient pas plus violents. Ils me disaient mais non, mais si tu étais aussi violent qu'eux, tu étais comme eux. Oui. Et du coup, je comprenais ce que je me disais, c'était trop pacifique, leur façon d'être.
C'est ce qu'on se dit sur le coup, mais trouver la réponse adéquate, c'est compliqué aussi.
Ouais, c'est très beau. Ça m'a beaucoup ému quand les fois où j'ai pu croiser des gens de ma famille du côté de ma mère qui m'ont expliqué qu'il fallait croire dans des idées plus que dans la violence. Bon, j'ai envie de pleurer en disant ça.
Bah tu peux, hein.
Non, mais... Ok. Bon, bah, de toute façon, faut que j'y aille.
Oui, bon.